today we are going to finally share with you how we are making sheepskin rugs. All you need is sheep, soap, and some hot water and a little bit of determination and some strength, some muscle strength. So super excited to show you how this goes today, and let me know what you think.
Hello and welcome to Harmony Heritage Farm, where sheep, soil, and stewardship meet.
This has been a much requested video, so I'm so happy to finally be getting to it today. Here we have a thin sheep cross. Most of my sheep have at least a 25% cross of thin in there for the really nice fleece. So I just think it's super awesome that you can have a sheep that produces dairy and wool and meat for your family. You can get all of that in just one small animal. It's always helpful to have just one more farm product that you can sell at markets or online, or even just for yourselves to have these sheepskin rugs. It's really fun. Each one is so special because they're all so different, and you can tell exactly which sheep the wool is from, which I just love. So, well, the sheep are off, so I guess we better get to it. So I have a broom handle here. That's something you're going to need. I like some heavy duty gloves that are going to protect your hands from hot water. A plastic trash bag. And let me see if I can show you here. Some of this non-slip cabinet liner. I think that's what it's called. I will link it in the comments below so that you can look for that yourself. And then some really large rubber bands. I don't know if you can see that. Got a few of them here. And then the only other ingredient you need is soap and very hot water. So this is some wool that is already carded that I have purchased. It's USA grown wool. And I'll put the link for this in the comments also so that you can check it out. But this is just an easier way for me to make my rugs than carding it all myself. That would just take too much time at this point. I'm not set up for that. So I buy this in these rolls here. They're called bumps. This is called a bump. And I forget how many pounds, maybe 40 pounds or 30 pounds, somewhere in there. And then here I have laid out one of our fleeces. I had a couple of orders for a black rug, so I'm using black fiber today. And we're going to see how that turns out with this white underneath. It's a little bit different, of course, than I have done before. So this is my first time making a solid black sheepskin rug. I've made mostly white and black patched rugs. So for those of you who are not familiar with the process of felting wool, what we're doing here is taking the fiber and agitating it with hot water and soap to cause the little tiny microscopic hooks or fibers on each individual strand of wool to hook together, kind of like Velcro. So that's what happens when you add hot water and soap and agitate wool. It shrinks and each fiber grabs onto the fiber next to it. So I'm taking this roving and I'm opening it up and trying to spread it flat, because the felting process will work so much better if you have very thin layers of wool and then have them facing all different directions. It's going to felt a lot faster and a lot more evenly. So that's what you see me doing here. I'm opening up, peeling away these roving strands here, and layering them in all kinds of different directions to help that mat felt together evenly and consistently. Different types of fleeces are going to felt a lot faster than others. So if you have a really high micron count and your wool is very fine, it's going to felt really quickly. But if your wool is more the hairy type or has more coarse, it's a more coarse type of wool, then it's not going to felt as easily. So it might take a little bit more doing to get it to do what you want it to do. So here is my mat, what it looks like from the top. Just a quick little view. Sorry I didn't have more of that to show you, but you can see that all the different layers of wool are facing different directions. I went about 3 layers deep. I went vertical and then horizontal, and then I kind of went across it crosswise with the third layer. So it's pretty thin, maybe 1/4 inch thick. And now I'm laying out my raw fleece on top here. So this is a completely raw fleece. I have not worked with this at all or washed it or anything. I just shore it off the sheep a couple of days prior, and I took off the worst parts of the wool around the legs and the belly that just were not really going to be good for this. But this is the complete fleece from the back. What you did not see me do here was pour hot water on top of that fleece and then lay a plastic bag, that black plastic bag, on top of it. And then I rolled it up around the dowel rod and rubber banded around the whole thing. I think I put maybe 6 or 7 big rubber bands on there to hold everything together tightly. If it's loose, the felting process isn't going to go as quickly because it's just going to be, flopping around in there and not held as securely. So you want those rubber bands to hold it very secure. I'm pouring some more really hot water and soap in there. There's just a tiny bit of soap. There's not a lot. You can see there's not even really bubbles showing up here. If you have too much soap, again, you're going to struggle to get the wool to felt because it's going to be too saturated with soap. So I've made that mistake many times. I like to use super, super hot water. So it's boiling in my pot behind me on a gas turkey burner. If you use less hot water, so if you use like lukewarm water, it's not going to felt as quickly. You will be able to get it to felt eventually, but I am not very patient, so I like to speed up the process as much as I can and just wear some really heavy-duty gloves so that very hot water is not burning my skin. I think I'm going to pull this apart and check on it in a couple of minutes here. I've been rolling for probably 5 or 6 minutes. We'll see how it's looking. I pretty much know at this point that it's not going to be felted yet. It's going to take at least 15 minutes to get this to felt as solid as I want it to be. But I'm just kind of checking on it, kind of picking up the layers and seeing if it's felting evenly and if I need to. And look at that, it's already, you can see the white is already felting pretty well into that mat, but the black fleece hasn't attached itself to the lower mat very well yet. You can see it's still pretty loose. So it's looking really good. It's looking like it's felting pretty evenly, but I'm definitely finding that it is felting fast on the bottom layers because of the texture of that non-slip rug. And that's exactly what you want. You don't want your top layer to felt flat, and that's why we lay the slick plastic bag on top. I'm going to go ahead and completely pull the rug off of my mat here, just to loosen it, because those fibers were kind of entangled with the mat, and I don't want them to felt to the mat. I don't want it to be a permanent fixture. And I'm going to pour some more hot soapy water on there, lay down my plastic, and roll it up in the opposite direction that I had before. It's too hot to touch it, so I'm going to put my gloves back on. And there we are at the end. Get those rubber bands put back on there. That's probably the most annoying part of the process for me, is just trying to get those bands on there. But this rug is going to be about 4x6. This is definitely an outdoor project, with as messy as it is, but it's nice that we're getting this wool cleaned as well as felting it at the same time. And I'm probably going to roll this for another 5 or 6 minutes. I'm super impatient, so I'm just constantly checking to see if it's felted to the level that I want it to be. You can see it's all holding together pretty well now. I'm kind of just tugging on those fibers to see if they are felted enough for me. And most likely I'll need to do this at least another time or two, but we're getting close. I am so excited to show you this rug that we have finished. It turned out amazing. I wasn't sure how it was going to look with the black wool on the one side and the white on the back, but I feel like it came out looking like a real pelt would, where the skin is lighter, on the underside. So I'm super excited to show you how this turned out. Here we are. I feel like it's going to be really hard to show you the full glory of this wonderful sheepskin. I wasn't sure if the white would kind of like show through the black, but it really doesn't. I have the sunlight behind me and you can see it doesn't it's not shining through. My main struggle that I have with making these is getting it to felt evenly. So you'll find that on some of the areas it felted down a little bit harder than in others. So like right here, for instance, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. You can see it's a little bit felted down a little bit more here. But I think that can be fixed by just kind of lightly teasing at the wool a little bit to pull it up and make the felting look a little bit more even throughout. But overall, I am just so thrilled with this. Like, it is beyond my expectations. One of the things that I did not show in the video was that I soaked this for maybe an hour in the bathtub to complete the cleaning process. It was pretty well cleaned after the boiling water and the felting process, but I have kind of worked on picking out a little bit of organic matter here and there, and I let it soak a couple of times and rinsed it out a couple of times until the water ran clear. And then I've just been air drying this today. It's a beautiful day, rare for here in Washington. So I'm taking advantage of that to just really air dry this nicely. You can use a dryer on cool heat. You definitely don't ever want to put your wool rugs in a washing machine on hot heat, because it will felt the wool even more, and you'll have a very, very felted and shrunken rug. So you don't want that. I actually did that on my first one. I tested it out, and it's okay. It's fine. But, if you want this like natural wool, you want the curls and the wool to kind of stand up like it does, you won't want to do that, because it will felt flat to your base if you do it that way. So as you can see, I'm like teasing this. See, this is another area where it kind of felted a little more flat. But yeah, I'm just so excited. Like, look at that. This is a beautiful Finn cross sheep that I have. So I breed my dairy sheep for wool quality also. And this is a really nice, crimpy, extremely soft fleece from a ewe named Dribble that I have. And she is, let's see, she only has like a quarter fin in her lines, but that still is enough fin genetics to make a really nice fleece. So, oh, here you see the white a little bit through here in this spot, but it's not bad. Yeah, so that's the front. And the back. Just think it's so cool. Just so cool. It's silly that I'm so excited about this, but I can't get over it. That you can take a product that would have just been farm waste and make it into something so amazing where you can, be warm and your kids can sleep on. That's one of the main reasons I started making these was because I have a little baby who I really wanted to sleep on fleece because of all of the many benefits that there are to having your kids on natural fibers, sleeping on natural fibers, and also playing, for a play mat kind of a thing. I have one. And also, they're really super great because they're lightweight. You can transport them easily. So whenever Charlie goes to stay with a friend and is going to take a nap or something, I'll just throw this in the car and he instantly just conks out on this because this means sleepy time. So I love them for that. I love that they're so lightweight and just easy to pack and take anywhere with you. I also love that cleaning these is going to be a lot easier than an actual real skin because you can soak the entire thing in water and wash it that way. I'm not sure if you could use a washing machine just because I think that's going to be a lot of agitation and you want to be really careful not to do that with wool or it will felt to itself. If you use like really cool water, it might be okay. But the combination of hot water and agitation will definitely felt your wool. So you want to be really careful about that when you're cleaning. You can't take an actual sheepskin and just soak it in the bathtub to wash it. Whereas one of these, you absolutely can. And I feel like they're going to be so easy to just shake out when you need to. I don't know about brushing this, if it would be ideal just because I don't know how strongly this fiber is really attached. And I would hate for you to like pull the wool away from the base layer too hard. So like, it's sturdy, like it's not coming out for sure. But with a comb, I don't know. A brush, I might experiment with that a little bit and let you know how that goes. But I like the natural looking crimp. I don't like them all brushed out because I feel like that takes away from its kind of natural beauty. It's a really fun natural fleece fiber. I'm almost kind of sad that this one is sold because I would almost like to keep this for myself, but there will be more. I am sure there will be more. So anyway, that's it. That's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. And if I can help you answer any questions, as always, feel free to drop your comments and questions below or reach out to me through our website or Facebook or Instagram. And I'm happy to talk to you there. So we will catch you on the next one.